Hey guys, what is going on? Lego Man 123 are back from another video, and today in this video I'll be doing something a little bit different but also pretty exciting because today I'll be comparing the Lego Brickhead's Hedwig to the Funko Pop Hedwig. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first we'll start with some differences. One of the big ones are probably the size because Hedwig, the Funko Pop one, is I believe a 9-inch one, whereas the Hedwig Brickheads is roughly possibly maybe like a minifig, maybe plus 4 pieces. I'm not 100% sure on the exact size of it, but that is one of the main differences. Another one is the eyes. On the Funko Pop one, he does have, or she does have, two black eyes, but as for the Lego one, it does have the yellow stud, sort of the color there, and then the printing is like two sort of dots or like diamonds to represent eyes. And then another sort of difference is that the head on the Funko Pop one is a lot more sort of smoother and a lot more sort of, it has a bit more of a sort of circle shape to it, whereas the Lego one is a lot more sort of square, and at the top it is rough because it does have some studs showing, but I can understand why the Lego one isn't as sort of smooth and sort of round as the Brickhead one, because like it's hard to actually make a sort of shape like that with such limited pieces, and also like the sort of texturing of it for the smoothness is also hard to do. And then another difference is the body, because on the Funko Pop one, it does have some feather detailing with like the sort of lines there, but on the Lego one, it's just plain. It would have been really cool to actually see like maybe an exclusive print on the front to like show sort of feather detailing like the Funko Pop one does. And then the sides are very similar because they do have the wings, and I believe that's a print of like the sort of wing feature, and also like the feathers is also shown on the Funko Pop, but instead of just having like that many, it has a lot more sort of a feather detailing and also sort of wing detailing. And then at the back, it does have a pretty sort of similar sort of back design to it with the tail and all that. It has the very similar shape with like the different pieces there, but instead of having like all the feather detailing like the Funko Pop one, Lego just had a bunch of different sort of bricks to actually create that sort of shape. And then the sides are pretty much the exact same as the other side. And then we also have for the feet, the Funko Pop does have some feather detailing and also some claws, whereas the Lego one, it just has like some feet detailing and like no claws or feather detailing, which I can definitely see why they didn't do that, because it would have been really hard to actually get sort of small claws on such small feet, and then like feather detailing on the 1x2 plates would have been really hard to actually do that. Now we'll move on to some similarities. The first one is probably the beak, because both of them do have a very similar shape to the beak. We have like this tooth piece in black, and then on the Funko Pop it's a very similar shape. And they also have that idea on the Lego one where it's sort of like a piece overlaps the sort of beak of the bird on the Funko Pop with like the feathers, and Lego have also done that. But I feel like this piece is a little too big because it just sort of stands out too much, whereas the Funko Pop one, it just looks right. So it would have been really interesting to actually see them use a bit more of a smaller piece, even maybe like a 1x2 or something, just something a little smaller because it just stands out too much. But apart from that, some other similarities are the size as well, because they both do share that sort of similarity of like feather detailing or like the wings shape and all that type of stuff. And then at the back, we do have a very similar design for the tail with like the design for it with like the shaping on the Lego one, but it would be really hard to actually print like feather detailing on this with all the sort of lines because it's such an odd shape to actually print on, so I can see why they didn't do that. So apart from those differences and similarities, I really have nothing else to compare or say about the Brickhead's Hedwig and then the Funko Pop Hedwig. If you did see anything or pick up anything else about both of these Hedwigs, whether it was a similarity or difference, please tell me down in the comments below. So both of these versions of Brickheads, where it's the Lego one or the Funko Pop one, both of them do have a lot of really great detailing, especially the sort of feather detailing, because that can be something really hard, especially on the Lego one, because they only did do it on the wings. But considering like the odd shapes on the Lego one, it would have been really hard to actually do feather detailing, whereas the Funko Pop one has a bit more of a sort of a solid design to it with the shaping of it, because it's a lot more easier to actually like print stuff on that and also sort of make a texture of it. So I could definitely see the difference between that. And also the head has a bit more of a different sort of similarity to it, because they both share a very similar design with like the sort of circle design, but the Lego one has a bit more of a sort of a square one, which I can definitely understand why. And then the eyes, I'm really not sure why they actually went for yellow ones on the Brickhead. I think the black ones look a lot more nicer, so it would have been really interesting to actually get a black outline instead of a yellow one. And then like the body has a similar design with like, you can see the feathers or like the wings on each of them with the design, and then the front has an interesting design as well. Even the back does share similarities and differences. The main one being the design for the back with the tail, because the Funko Pop one has a lot of detailing and texturing for like the feathers and the wings, whereas the Lego one just has this really interesting shape, and I can see why they didn't actually print on that, because that would have been really hard. They would have to like print on, I think maybe that's like 4 separate bricks to actually get the sort of texturing and feather detailing. And then like the wings, you can also see them on the Funko Pop one, like here, and then on the Lego one you can see it here and here, and that's where the tails are. So definitely really interesting there. And then at the back of the head, the Funko Pop one has some texturing for like maybe some feathers or something like that, whereas the Lego one is just basically plain. So it would have been really cool to actually see Lego print a lot more on the Lego one, because like they could print some really nice feather detailing on like the sides of the head, the back of it, the front of the body. But apart from that, I can definitely understand why Lego didn't like print on the back for like the tail or even on the legs. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video as much as I did making it, because I really did enjoy comparing both of these versions of Hedwig, and I would definitely love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. And as always guys, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and I can see you soon. Goodbye!